All right, so you're probably wondering how I got here. This is my skin. It has been 12 days post treatment, and the treatment I'm talking about is SkinVive. I decided to get it because of all the hype, about it. It's supposed to promise glass like looking skin and just more moisture. And as I've aged and I'm getting older, I've just found that it takes a little bit more effort. And I thought, well, why not try the SkinVive inside? And it's basically just HA, being injected into your skin. So they kind of draw a grid and then they inject it symmetrically on your cheek area. That's where it's been FDA approved. She did on my chin and then on my neck as well. And you can see, obviously, my neck looks very inflamed, and this is 12 days. So I want to add and preface this by saying I've had skin Vive done on my neck 2 times before. So, and I had zero adverse effects. The place that I had it done initially was at Precise by Iceland in Yorkville. She's phenomenal. I highly recommend her, and shame on me for not going back there. I decided to go to Skin Vitality, located in Ajax. And the reason I decided to go there is because it was, convenient and close enough. And I've been there before to like buy skin products, and also I've gotten treatment there before. There's one injector specifically that I go to. I won't say who she is, but I've been going to her for a very long time, so I'll bounce between her and Precise by Iceland in Toronto. And so I decided to go to her, and I specifically for this treatment. Now, when I went right into the room. I didn't do any consultation, and she immediately started to do the treatment. So basically, she drew the grid on my cheeks, and then she started to inject. Now, she did my left side first, and it was relatively painless. So, like, I didn't have any discomfort, just like the mild feeling of the pokes. And then when she got to my right side, though, it really hurt. And I was like, oh, like that. I don't know why I'm so sensitive on this side. And she kind of just thought it was probably, whatever. We didn't know what was going on. And then she did my neck. And so I left there. I got home and saw what I looked like. I looked crazy, of course. And when I say crazy, it looked like I just had like obviously bumps going along, my face, going along my, like looking like a grid, and then my neck. It was pretty inflamed, which for me was a bit surprising, to be honest with you. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, I've had treatments done before, and I've had SkinVive done on my neck. And again, at the Precise by Iceland location, and it was like by the time I got home, you could barely see all you saw were like the pokes, but nothing was swollen. So to see kind of this swelling and these lumpy lumps on my face, I was not sure why. But so I contacted, them the next day, and I'm like, well, here's what my face looks like. I took some pictures. Is this normal? And she said, absolutely. It could take anywhere from 3 to 5 days to start to see that dissipate. 3 to 5 days come, and I still look like it's lumpy. Like it just looked like I had broken out with bad boils all over my face. So you can imagine I did not want to leave my house. I was super embarrassed. So let's just talk about the emotional and mental impact this has had, let alone the physical. So basically, I called them back, and I went in at that point, and she looked at me and she took pictures, and especially my neck. I was really concerned about how my neck looked, and especially because I had it done 2 times before and I had no issues. And she said, oh, this is normal. And I'm like, okay, well, she said, just keep waiting. But something just didn't feel right. So I decided to reach out to my skin esthetician. Like, I go to her for facials, and I buy all my products. So the products that I generally use is SkinCeuticals, Vivier, and Cell Cosmet, which is a Swiss line. And I exclusively get it from Jen, who owns Cosmo Medical in Markham. And so I called her and I kind of told her what was going on. And she said, well, why don't you come in and I'll have my nurse take a look at it. So that's what I did. And when the nurse saw, she said, your injector just injected too superficially, and now you're having this reaction. Like, we can see all the lumps. It's just not dissolving the way it should. And, so basically I took that information, shared it back with Skin Vitality. So now, by this point also, by the way, I should mention, Skin Vitality, when they do stuff like this and you say you want it dissolved, they'll charge you $200. And so I said, I refuse to pay that. In fact, I want my money back. And they said, well, we don't offer refunds, and if you write to the client services, you could potentially get the fee waived for the dissolver. And I said, okay, fine, I'll do that. So the client services contacted me via email. We're exchanging. I send pictures. I send a video. And initially, again, she's like, well, just wait. I was like, I don't think this is normal, so I would really like for something to be done about this. This texture, gross. So basically she said, okay, we don't typically do it. We can see you next week. So probably like closer to the end of June. And I said, absolutely not. And by the way, this is what the nurse practitioner said at this other place is a second opinion. And by the way, the nurse practitioner sent it to their SkinVive rep, and this is what the SkinVive rep said as well. So now I am going in on Thursday, and I'm basically going to have them dissolve like all the bumps on my chin, all this bruising, this here, all the bruising you can kind of see when I turn, like here, there's some here and on my chin over here, and then my neck. And the way that I understand it is you need to have an expert person do the microdose dissolvent because it's you just have to have a steady hand. You don't want to go too deep. So we're going to have to, I need that reassurance, and they're going to have to really take their time. But what's the moral of the story? A few things. Don't go to Skin Vitality, for one. It's far better to go to places that maybe have more experience. And I actually don't even think, it's not that they have multiple locations across Ontario. I've been to them, before. I should add that I did have filler done years ago with them, or like over a year ago with them, probably even longer than a year, maybe 2 years now. And I even just the technique I've learned as I've studied skin, like where the injection should go, and they just don't have that same skill set, in my opinion, now that it kind of lesson learned. But I thought something like this you can't really get wrong, but apparently now I'm learning you can. They have to inject it a very specific way, and it has to go into the deeper epidermis of the skin. So if it's done too superficially, it literally just sits at the top, and that's what causes the lumps. So that's something to consider when you're going to find your person as well. And it shouldn't be swollen after 24 hours. If it is, there's something definitely wrong, and you should get that checked out immediately. It's supposed to give you the effect of glass skin. Like when I had it done on my neck, what I was trying to do is get rid of the crepey skin. I should add, I'm 49, so I'm obviously chasing younger looking skin like every other aging person, I suppose, or any woman, I suppose. So this is hard for me. This is really hard because I have worked super hard for a really long time. before now got tons and tons of compliments on my skin. I freely share that information. Like, what do I do? I'm very open about it, like definitely do Botox. Love Botox. Definitely your skincare matters. Invest in that. And go to just really reputable places. Do not go to Skin Vitality in Ajax. This is where my heartache began 12 days ago now. And we'll see what happens on Thursday. I'm more than happy to give you all an update as to my journey. But like, even turning my face this way, ugh, and look at my neck. Like, I just don't even know what to say at this point. It has been very hard. But yeah, I just thought I'd come on here. I wasn't really sure if I was going to post this or not, but I decided if it could help someone, then yeah, I want to help women out there, and even men, or anyone that is looking to get, skin treatments done. Do your homework. If you've and ask them questions. Like, if you've had treatments done that's underlying, like, ask them about it. Like, layering treatment on treatment, like, will that have an adverse impact? Like, they should be telling us more, not just like, oh yeah, come on in, let me do the service and take your money, and then you have no recourse. So that's my story. I will update you all on what happens on Thursday, and hopefully I will be able to restore my skin to what it was, and get rid of these bumpy bumps, and my neck will be resolved, and I can once again leave the house.